Welcome back to Satisfactory. Today's episode might be a bit shorter than usual. What I have done since the last episode is a lot of waffling and planning. I've set up this little array of stator production and rotor production. So I have two of these alternate quickwire stator assemblers, which I've both overclocked to 125%, which means that I'm making 20 stators per minute. And in addition to the already 10.8 rotors that I'm making in the other base A, I'm also making 10 rotors here, which then leads to this assembler here that's using 10 of each per minute to create 5 motors per minute. Of course, it's nice to have a storage full of these, but we're going to need more of them, which of course means that I need more steel, because I would like to use the alternate recipes for the rotor, and that's the steel rotor. But that will require a great deal more steel pipe than what I currently am able to produce. I'm producing 60 per minute currently, and I'm using 60 in this little production here. So I need more steel. However, there is at the location where the multiplayer series that I did together with Catherine of Sky and Exterminator, the mega base above the trees, there is 4 coal nodes there. They're normal, but that should suffice. And there's also a couple of pure iron nodes that I can use for that. Those are through a tunnel in the mountain over there, which means that I have to deal with spiders, much to my displeasure. So, yeah. However, that's not my primary goal currently. My primary goal currently is out here at the oil wells. Now, they have complicated oil rather substantially with Update 3. So, I'm going to be spending quite a bit of time trying to figure out how to set up oil properly with all the new changes, since you get all kinds of things. But this little concrete area here is, of course, reserved for the oil refinery production. You might be wondering what the heck is going on with these foundations here. Since the waterfall is rather pretty, I wanted to use glass foundations here so I could see the water flowing underneath. And also I've put up a fence here so that the water is just at the outside of the fence. It looks rather nice. It's a kind of a break in the paradise of concrete. Now, the respawning of mobs has given me more than one headache so far. Particularly those blasted wasps. They respawn far too quickly. But there are 4 oil wells that gives us crude oil out here. You can see these nests here. Not only do the nests respawn, but each one of them has wasps flying around. So for each of those nests I have to deal with 6 wasps now. Like, why? I'm really looking forward to the tweaks that the devs have promised on the respawn rates. The same down there at the beach. 2 wasp nests, and there was probably at least 4, probably 6 wasps flying around in the area over there. And in here, yeah, there he is. There's a boss, if you can call it a boss, spitter in there. He was quite annoying to take down. And then there's a plethora of spitting space goats out here as well. 2 over here, and there were 3 over there, in addition to, of course, to the wasp nests. But as long as you're driving the car, it's not a big problem. Of course, don't drive too close to those nests with the car, because they will pop. And then, of course, we have the angry doggos up here. I haven't really bothered with those yet. There's also a hard drive that I haven't picked up, which is over there. And then there's the final oil well over there. Also, of course, with a lot of wasps. And I'm not sure if it's a bug that I encountered just in one location, or if it's something more permanent, but I would recommend that you do not drive a tractor onto a wasp nest, because when I did that, the entire thing got stuck. Like, it got submerged in sand, and I couldn't get it out of there again, so I would have to deconstruct. So I actually had to reload the game. So I don't recommend doing that. Oh, for crying out loud. Driving in trees is not ideal. Okay, let's just get out of it. So, also driving in water is not recommended. You can drive over the wasps, but if you get too close to the nest, they will spawn more wasps. You can also drive over these, which is always fun. Doesn't do any damage to them, but it's fun. I've connected up these 2 oil wells, or pipelines, to a junction there. Each well, I would go take a look at the well, but that would require having to deal with the boss mob and or the wasps. So those 2 are connected. They produce 120 cubic meters of liquid each, so 240 in that pipe. And the 2 others are connected with a junction over here. As you can see, the pipe is coming out of that oil pump, and that pipe also transports 240. Let's just get the heck out of here before we either run out of fuel or have to deal with all of these insane mobs, and I hope that I don't have to go out there. I might, because I don't know how the fluid mechanics works when it comes to oil and pipes, so I might need pumps. I'm not looking forward to that particular venture if I need pumps, but it'll be fine. So I haven't really decided how I'm going to set up the refineries yet, but I probably will end the section for the refineries here. Now, if I put up a refinery, it has 2 outputs and 2 inputs. I think I put it that way. Yep. So, with the basic oil production, you have the residual fuel. This requires 3 heavy oil residue. That is the purple cylinder. You have regular fuel, which is manufactured from 6 cubic meters of crude oil. This produces 40 cubic meters of regular fuel, but it also produces polymer resin. And then you have residual rubber, which is produced from polymer resin and water, which means that I might use this area here. Might be too shallow, but if it isn't, I might use this area to get water into the process. You have residual plastic, which also uses polymer resin and water to create residual plastic. get 10 parts per minute from that, and with the residual rubber you also get 10 parts per minute. As opposed to just doing plastic, which gives you 20 parts per minute, but then gives you, this is directly from crude oil, but that gives you the heavy oil residue. You can make petroleum coke, which is a coal replacement for that, but you're gonna need quite a bit of refineries for that. Also keep in mind that each refinery requires 50 megawatts of power, and the pumps also require, I think it's 40 megawatts of power. So I'm going to need more power plants as well to set up this thing. And then finally you have regular rubber, which gives you 20 parts per minute, and then 10 cubic meters per minute of the heavy oil residue. So this is starting to remind me of the oil manufacturing process in Factorio, i.e. it's getting more complicated. It's definitely tutorial material. I will most likely make a tutorial for I can remove these fences here, I don't need them anymore. I'll most likely make a tutorial for the oil stuff. Ah, crap. I want to remove the fences, not the foundations. I can imagine that the oil is giving more than one person a slight headache. And I've made this area very big on purpose because I want this area to be big enough to support many refineries. But in between episodes, I'm going to have to build more coal power plants. And I expect that I will be doing that up at the top of the mountain. There are 3 pure coal nodes up there, and there's also some very handy lakes up there that can be used for the water that's necessary for the see? The wasps. Ah, they're so annoying. Yeah. No, just die. I'm just gonna build over these paleberry plants. I don't expect them to respawn anyways. I'm not gonna bother cutting them down. So from those 3 nodes up there, I should be able to produce enough power for, let's see, I think that would be sufficient to create 3,600 megawatts of power, which should suffice for quite some time until we can get the generators for, did I place that correctly? Actually I did. The geothermal ones. I'm in an area where I have I think it's either 3 or even maybe 4 geysers. And I don't know how much power each of those power plants produce, but as far as I know, they are better than the coal ones. So, however, they are in the next tier of products, so I need to send off another batch of stuff to the space elevator before I get the opportunity to build those. So for now, we'll have to make do with coal power. And of course I can build the fuel generators. Let me just put up these foundations and let's have a look at the fuel generators as well. I believe they use heavy oil residue, so that's one thing I can use the heavy oil residue for. The most important thing that we need to get out of these oil wells for now is rubber and In particular plastic. Plastic is the most important one of them. But rubber too will be quite useful. Those birds needs to go find new pastures because they are in the way of my foundation building. I think I have enough concrete to fill up the area as I wanted to do. I'll probably build even more foundations out here, but I was also considering... Hey, bird. No, I'm not gonna shoot you with a Nobelisk. You're not that bad. Sorry, but you're in the way. I don't know if you can tame the birds yet. I think you can, because they are marked on the Satisfactory calculator website. Oh, I've mentioned this before, but this is actually handy tip. When you're dealing with these wasp nests, one of the things that I do to not let all of the 3 wasps come at you at once is shoot it with a rebar gun. And then the wasps don't notice you. And then you can pull one at a time. I might pull 2, but no. Well, can pull 1 at a time when they don't fly off in all kinds of directions. I have no intentions of going up here right now. Hello. Yes, I'm here. The wasps are more manageable when you just get 1 at a time. But of course, when they hit you, they fall down on the ground, so... they don't really do that much damage. So they're not a big problem as long as you get 1 or 2 of them at a time. But if you get more than that, they can be quite devastating quite quickly. I'm curious, what is up here actually? Now I want to explore this place. Why are there 4 wasp nests here? Ah, too low. Because they are usually guarding something. Where are you going? And why? Come on. Yes. Straight at me. That's the ticket. Next. Hello. And final one. Hello. I'm waiting for you. Let's grab these carapaces. There must be something they're guarding here. I have a dreadful feeling that they're guarding a cave with icky spiders. It's definitely a cave. No spiders yet. The doggo. Oh, they're so cute. Well, this is a rather large place. Another doggo. This reminds me of a location in Ark. Oh! red rocks. But I don't believe that there's no spiders here. It's a cave. How can there be a cave without spiders? What? Is this a crash site? But there's never crash sites without big nasties. They might not always be big, but there's usually nasties around when there's a crash site. I'll leave those parts, I don't need them. Definitely don't need screws. I've never been here before. I don't understand how there can be a crash site here inside a cave. How did the pod get in here? That looks like regular rocks. Yep. Yeah, that is also a tip. Probably seen me do that before, but you can go into the photo mode if you want to zoom in. It's a quick way of like using wasps down there. It's like using binoculars or a telescope just to get your bearings and see things in the distance. I really can't believe that there's not any kind of mobs in here. There's even a power slug. But I'm a bit annoyed about the fact that there's a crash site here and no hard drive, because I could really use more hard drives. I don't want to jump down there. There's a slug up there as well. Huh. Oh well. I wonder what that red rock... I haven't seen that before. You'd think it was bauxite or something, but apparently it isn't. Do I have... Yes, I have one obelisk left. Let's see if we can... Nah, doesn't blow up the red rock. It looks like a node. What's up there? Okay, gotta do this a bit more carefully. There's nothing up here either. Well, there's a hole up there. Apparently you can fall down here. Which sounds like a rather painful process. Come on. I want up here. Seriously? There's a new hole there that I have no intentions of falling down into. I can't get any further up, so yeah. Let's just leave again. The wasps have probably respawned, because they respawn way too quickly for my tastes. No, I'm not gonna hurt you. See? Sheesh, the respawn rate. Office Dane, you need to tweak those respawn rates because this is slightly ridiculous. And I also wish that you make something like... because this is very close to my to what I've built. If you could do something like... I know that there is something like a function of if there is active manufacturing going on, then things do not respawn. At least usually it doesn't. Sometimes it actually does. So can you please make it so that it doesn't respawn if you have a certain amount of buildings, like say several thousand or several hundred, crying out loud, several hundred foundations. Like, I have so many foundations there, and yet they respawn just beside my foundation area. Okay, right, I can't build that yet. Because I need plastic. Sigh. The meow is real. It's definitely real today. I wish I had more to show off as well, but I have what I have. Been a busy day today. So I haven't been able to play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's put one there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. Can put that at number 9 instead. I need to power up the oil generators. Maybe that'll stop some of the respawning out there. Maybe that's the thing. aka power makes it stop. This looks slightly ridiculous. I don't know if that is on the same angle. It's almost on the same angle, but it's not quite. Also, Noblexes do not take away the poison things. I might have shown that in the previous episode. But just in case you've been wondering, I can confirm that they do not do anything about those. Is that too far? I think it said that it's too far. Far is too long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 is just an arbitrary number, by the way. I don't think that is the max length. I think it actually is longer than that. Let's build a power pole there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm not sure what I've been doing here, but okay, so I have power poles that far. Do I have space for the crap that's left in this chest? Yes, I do. Then let's just remove the chest and drive back to the base. Actually, with all of my concrete building and so forth, I've managed to make a full-length episode. It might not be the most interesting of my episodes so far, but at the point of the game where I'm at now, things are going to take quite a while to build. Because now I'm starting to look at rather complicated production chains, and some of them require a lot of resources, much more than I have capacity for at the moment. So I guess that I will just have to say that as long as I'm going to produce at least one daily episode, there is no way that I can make the episodes contain 100% relevant, new, and exciting content. But as far as I've been able to tell, based on feedback from you guys, you seem to enjoy the episodes that contain a bit of waffling and even concrete foundation building and stuff like that. So that's something, at least. I'm happy about that. Now, what I was going to show here is the industrial manufacturing, because I want the truck. It has double the capacity of the tractor. One of the things that I would really like is the tripod car that I don't remember the name of currently, but that would have been massively useful. So the other thing that this one can be quite useful, because I think you can take all of these things and put it into an awesome sink. So if I have excess products, I will probably use these and just push them into an awesome sink. But as you can see, this one requires plastic. And this one requires plastic and rubber. The gas mask requires plastic, rubber, and fabric. Fabric I could just handcraft, so that's not a problem, but I cannot handcraft rubber and plastic. In tier 6, this one, there's the fuel generator. And I need to make heavy modular frames. I think I can produce them now, but they are expensive, like massively expensive. Let's see here. No, I cannot produce them in this one, which means that I have to unlock this one. So I need to get up the refineries so I can get plastic and rubber, because I need a manufacturer to produce the tactical Borg cubes, or heavy modular frames as other people like to call them. And I don't know what the recipe for these are. That would also be useful, to be able to click this or right click it, hold down some kind of modifier button, and it would show what I need to feed the machine to build this particular part. Like, what does a truck cost? It'd be nice to know in advance. It probably costs heavy modular frames. It's in the same tech milestone, amongst other things. Probably also requires rubber and plastic and all the things. And it definitely needs motors. That's something that I'm certain of. One of the reasons why I would like the tripod is because all the way over behind that rock there, I can actually drive out there. Might need to pick up some coal. I don't think I have much coal left. No, I need to pick up some coal. Let's just deposit these items. Do I have any wood? Yes, I do. So one of these chests, yeah, I put wood in there. So I have a lot of paleberry and stuff like that, but that's for the pub. I probably should make a buffer so that I can get coal from the buffer instead of doing this. Because I need quite a bit of coal now. But that's something that I should do so that I have fuel for my vehicles. Then again, I will get the petroleum coke and use that as a fuel. That's grub enough so that I have 2 stacks of coal. Almost there, almost there. My poor finger. Tapping E all the time. There we go. So let's drive out to that as the final thing in this episode. Where the coal go? There it is. And I'll show what I mean. Of course, there is an easy way for me to bypass the issue, but oh, I need to do something about this. I can't drive across that belt. That belt is supposed to go below the base, but I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it, because the original plan was to use the 3 iron miners that I've built up in the base, and then funnel the iron ore over to the steel smelting outpost. But I've since reconsidered, and I think that I want to make a steel smelting outpost at the... you guys probably remember over here I have the... oh. My driving skills are as usual perfect. Where I have the the copper node that is funneling the copper ore that is on the belt there. There are also 2 iron nodes over there, and both of those are pure. So I was planning on getting the coal from the 4 normal nodes that is in the area. Does this thing have a headlight? No, it does not, so it's rather dark. So we should come to a cave here. And if I drive through this cave, I should arrive in the area near the lake that we had the there's wasps, spiders, all kinds of things in here. Of course, they will ignore me mostly when I'm on the tractor, but I'm not going to drive through here now. And that's also going to be highly annoying with the spiders respawning every time I need to go through the cave. So I need to have a vehicle to get through the cave, because I don't want to fight the spiders. I mean, the spiders are simple enough, but there's usually many of them at once, and in addition to that, they're creepy. So up there at the top of that waterfall, there are a lake, or rather a series of lakes, and inside those lakes we can build water extractors, and there are 3 pure coal nodes as well. Geesh, a boss goat. But the problem is, I can't get up there with this tractor, because, as you can see, there is a poison area there. It's starting very soon, and the tractor drives too slowly for me to get through that area without dying. So I need to build an alternative route to get up there. Which is fine, of course, but it's time consuming. It would be much easier for me to just drive up here. Which, if I had a tripod car, I could just drive up. It wouldn't be a problem at all. But this thing is too slow, so it isn't an option. So as you can hear, I have plenty of plans, but all of them involves a great deal of building. And sorry, you're gonna get up again, so it's fine. Those things are quite amusing. When you kill them, you can bounce on them. You can bounce on them when they're alive as well, but if you kill one, it functions like a trampoline until it despawns. But they are benign creatures, so I try to avoid killing them. The only time I've killed them are whenever they get stuck in my foundations, because they do that. Thanks to the respawning, sometimes one will respawn inside of my concrete foundation areas, and for obvious reasons, that is not ideal. Having one of those rather large creatures blocking my or encroaching on my terrain is not ideal. There's also a cave down here that I haven't checked out. There are spiders down there, of course, but I'm not sure if the tractor can get down there. But yeah, the episode has gone too far already, so let's wrap it up and go back to base. Now, I want to continue on my daily schedule of having one episode of Satisfactory per day. And with all of the plans that I have currently and all the stuff that I need, that might involve episodes like this, as I mentioned earlier. If you would rather have me publish an episode every second day because it's boring to watch things like this, that's fine too. But I would have to have multiple comments, like many comments saying that before I actually went to that step, so. But for now, I think we will wrap it up here. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you all in the next episode.